Good morning, my boy. Last time, I introduce Glory Age of Victorian era in England history. Queen Victoria dominated England over 60 years from 1837. Therefore, I can say that England history of 19th century goes together with Queen Victoria. And you may surprise to hear that she was target of assassination at least 8 times in her life. Actually, still she is second place as victim of assassination attempt in 19th century. First place was Napoleon III. His assassination plan in historical record was over 20 times as known. Second place of assassination attempts in the 19th century is a tie between Otto von Bismarck, German, and Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom. Next highest number of assassinations attempts in English history is a tie between King Edward IV and King Edward VI. They have 2 known assassination attempts against each of them. Therefore, Queen Victoria has outstanding number of assassination attempt in her life. The first assassination attempt against Queen Victoria took place on 10th of June, 1840. She was just 21 years old, and she was pregnant. The Queen was driving down Constitution Hill in London, with her husband, Prince Albert. Edward Oxford, 17 years old boy, staying with other audiences to watch Queen. Suddenly, he fired to the Queen, 2 shots. Fortunately, both missed her. Amazing for us, the carriages of Victoria did not have any rooftop, that's mean, anybody can see her face, and also shoot her as well. Queen Victoria was very popular among England people, and she liked to see her people directly with her own eyes. This case alerted importance of security management of royal family. Actually, Edward Oxford was quite unstable for his mental, and he was pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Queen Victoria wrote about it in her diary on the day of the attempt. And she wrote that it was a dreadful thing, and she was too thankful to God for his great mercy to say more about it. It was a significant event in British history to raise their nationality. And also, it was a reminder of the importance of protecting the royal family. After 2 years of first assassination attempt, namely 1842, second attempt of assassination of Victoria happened. Assassin was John Francis, 20 years old. He claimed he was actor, but he had criminal record. He also waiting for Queen in outside of her palace, and shoot for her carriages. Luckily, he failed to hit her, and he disappeared from there. Sir Robert Peel, Prime Minister, advised her not to go out and stay palace for the time being. However, brave Victoria did not listen this advice, and again went out by her carriages next day. Meanwhile, she allocated many private polices in there, and eventually, police caught John Francis on the street when he shoot again. Historical record noted that his pistol did not install bullets. Jury confirmed his death guilty, but Victoria gave pardon for him, and British people admired this tolerant queen. And, same 1842, another assassination was attempted. It was conducted by John William Bean, just 17 years old, at that moment. He was physically disabled, I mean, rickets, and in a very poor life. He thought, once he attempts assassination of Queen, he would be famous on media, and he could have a better life, rather than now. His attempt was ease blow due to his childish plan, and this time also, His pistol was empty, no bullets at all. Court sent him prison for 18 months, and, historical record said, he committed suicide 1882. In 1849, another assassination attempted. It was conducted by William Hamilton, and he had clear political reason to against Queen Victoria. He was immigrated from Ireland, colony of England. He gave up Ireland, due to terrible starvation, and first visited Paris. But, eventually, moved to London, without any money, job and family. These days, Paris was quite chaos, and full of atmosphere of new wind. We are not sure, he was encouraged by the air of revolution in Paris, but anyway, he tried to shoot Queen on her carriages in outside of her palace. This time as well, attempting was failed, and his gun did not have any bullets. We do not have much evidence, information of these assassination, but attempt of assassination made England people admire Queen, rather than before. In 1850, another assassination was attempted. It was first assassination which gave physical damage on the Queen, and it was conducted by Robert Pate, 50 years old. A former British Army officer, believing independency of Ireland. Same as his predecessors, he also waited the Queen, outside of palace. However, this time, Robert Pate took different method with his predecessors. He used stick to hit the Queen Victoria. And, his stick attack, gave serious mark on her head. Of course, it was sensational event, but, Queen Victoria showed her brave heart even here. After the case, she did not change her schedule, and, even enjoyed opera in theatre, that evening. Moreover, she blamed, real man will not hit lady. This word makes England people, proud of my majesty. Robert Pate was sent to Tasmania as forced labour for 7 years, and he ended up his quiet later life, 1895 in London. 21 years later after Robert Pate, another assassination attempted. At that moment, she was already 52 years old, and her husband, Albert, was passed away 10 years before. Actually, that moment, England was in her golden age, in its history, due to Industrial Revolution, and extending its territory to many places in the world. However, this golden age of England produced gap between rich and poverty. And also, it escalated the conflict between England and Ireland. Arthur O'Connor was an Irish politician and revolutionary. He was a leading figure in the Irish independence movement later. And, when he was 17 years old, he attempted assassination of the Queen. However, it was prevented by private security guard, John Brown. After husband of Victoria, Albert, passed away, he quickly became a favorite of Queen Victoria. He was a strong and capable man, and he was also a good listener. It was type of Queen Victoria. John Brown was a loyal and dedicated servant to Queen Victoria. When Arthur O'Connor came close to the Queen, John Brown immediately feel imminent danger on him, and caught him before he reached to the Queen. In the trial, Arthur O'Connor insisted that he did not have any intention to kill the Queen, and it was really true that the gun which he had was out of order. Finally, he was in jail only 12 months, and released. And 10 years later of the case of Arthur O'Connor, that's mean, in 1882. Last significant assassination attempt has been conducted by Roderick MacLean. This Roderick MacLean also revolutionary of Ireland, and it took place not in front of palace, but in the railway station. His attempt was failed, and the Queen obtained narrow escape. And surprised, due to his mental condition, he obtained non-guilty in the court. After reviewing these assassinations, I recognized that no one got execution although they tried to kill Queen. These era, death penalty was quite common, and, even now, the boss of some country does not feel any hesitation for execution. Even Queen by herself gave a pardon for some cases, and Queen Victoria, or her people knows that, once assassination attempted, it put fire on the nationality of England people, and her image, as brave, and tolerant queen, push up her reputation as well. During her era, she never tried to protect her carriages by strong protection, and show her face to England people, although it creates risk for her. I believe, she was actually very practical, and pragmatic in her life. It gives you some hints, how to behave as a leader, on the history book.
As the journey continues.